It's Friday, January 10th, 2025. Welcome to episode 136 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Peeler. In this edition of the Postcast, Alameda firefighters head to Los Angeles. Smash and grab robberies vex multiple Alameda businesses. From city attorney to county DA, it could happen. The city council takes up the issue of code enforcement. Ferry ridership is up, especially on the weekends. Alameda Hospital System recognized for excellent pediatric care. New year, new law, new lawsuit. And you can stream movies with your library card. These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story. On the news and across social media, the devastation of the wildfires in Los Angeles is overwhelming. Thousands of structures burned, over 175,000 people under evacuation, and most tragically, multiple lives lost. Alameda firefighters have responded to the call from SoCal. As of recording time, 6 members from AFD have been deployed, 2 to the Eaton fire with a water tender truck, and 4 crew members with engine 409 to the Palisades fire. The deployments are managed through the California Office of Emergency Services. As reported by the LA Times, in addition to firefighters from across California, Los Angeles County Fire Chief Anthony Maroney said Wednesday he had requested help from agencies in Oregon, New Mexico, Washington, and Utah, noting that there were not enough firefighters in LA County to address 4 fires of this size. LA City and County remain under a state of emergency. For details on the AFD deployment, see alamedapost.com/news. While we've been spared the fires here in the Bay Area, the accompanying high winds have played a little havoc locally. Some trees and branches, notably a large tree on Union Street, were down. A power pole at Clement and Chestnut was damaged in Wednesday's high winds and had to be replaced. There were power outages both on the main island and Bay Farm Island, but no reports of any storm-related injuries. Last week, we reported on November's crime statistics. On the whole, they looked pretty good. December may look very different thanks to a series of brazen robberies and attempted robberies that plagued area merchants this holiday season. In mid-December, someone drove a car through the doors of the Lucky supermarket in the Marina Village shopping center. A few days later, on December 19th, there was another break-in at the same store using the same method. The thieves tried to steal the ATM and successfully made off with all the cigarettes in the supermarket. In response, the store has barricaded the entrances to prevent a similar break-in and is no longer selling cigarettes. 360 Degrees Gourmet Burritos, also in Marina Village, experienced a break-in and theft of the cash in their register on December 28th, prompting them to close until January 6th. A cashier noted that this was the first break-in in the store in 35 years of operation at that location. In the same plaza, Tobacco Superstore featured a boarded-up storefront in the wake of 5 total break-ins in 2024. It started with $3,000 worth of cigarettes being stolen while the store was open. The 5th robbery involved a car smashing through the storefront. 2 of the robberies netted $10,000 worth of cigarettes. On December 30th, Stizzy, the cannabis dispensary at 1528 Webster, was broken into. The thieves attempted to steal the in-store ATM but failed. The store security guard noted that police response was practically immediate, which might explain why no attempt was made to steal any of the dispensary's actual merchandise. On January 3rd, would-be thieves broke into the Walgreens at 1916 Webster and tied a cable around their ATM. They tied the other end of the cable to a truck, attempted to make off with the ATM. They failed and, in the process, destroyed the entrance to the store. This was apparently the second time someone tried to steal the ATM, but since the machine is bolted to the floor, both attempts were failures. Speaking unofficially, a Walgreens employee noted that this is the worst level of crime they'd seen in 35 years as an employee. Ironically, the employee had transferred from San Francisco in hopes the conditions would be safer in Alameda. The hope has been that Proposition 36, passed by a 2/3 majority in November, might lead to a decrease in thefts as certain crimes are reclassified as felonies, with harsher penalties imposed. Of course, the dollar value of most of the crimes we just mentioned means Prop 36 would have no effect because they were already felonies regardless. APD Chief Nishant Joshi did not say whether the various incidents were connected. However, he expressed optimism that changes in state law would further reduce crime rates in Alameda, which have fallen by 40% in the last year. He also noted in a statement to the Post that the, quote, patrol division will also be fully staffed beginning next week with at least 8 to 13 officers on duty during peak hours, end quote. For further details on the rash of robberies, including pictures of the crime scenes, see the article by Gene Chen and Ken Durr at alamedapost.com/news.
In the criminal justice system, The people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
And we shift our focus from the police to the DA's office. With the recall of Alameda County DA Pamela Price, Royal Roberts is currently serving as interim DA. 15 applicants have submitted their applications to become the county's next full-time DA. That decision will be made by the Board of Supervisors. Whoever they pick will then hold the office until the 2026 general election. Among the 15 applicants, Alameda City Attorney Yi-Bin Shen. In a statement to the Post, Shen noted, quote, "With immense appreciation for the council's support and encouragement from many elected officials and community leaders, I am grateful for and humbled by the opportunity to submit my application to be Alameda's next district attorney. I look forward to sharing my vision for the district attorney's office with the Board of Supervisors in the coming days and weeks ahead." End quote. Prior to being the Alameda City Attorney, Shen was the Chief Deputy City Attorney for Santa Monica. The Board of Supervisors will make their choice by January 16th. Full details at alamedapost.com/news. At Tuesday's City Council meeting, the main topic was code enforcement. Building official Oscar Davalos reported that the code enforcement team wants to update their priorities to make life safety issues such as dangerous buildings, illegal housing units, environmental hazards, and removal of offensive graffiti their most urgent priority. The next highest priority would be work without permits, repeat or escalated violations, and significant noise and air quality complaints. The team has already utilized some low-cost efficiency improvements, such as yellow door hanger notices for lower-risk violations like overgrown vegetation. In 2024, the division's workload more than doubled compared to 2020. Davalos reported that as code enforcement has expanded its responsiveness to address more non-building violations, its work has been increasingly underfunded. He asked the council to consider increasing the general fund contribution to the division from 25% to 50%, with permit fees covering the remainder of the budget. Council voted unanimously to accept the code enforcement update report. In other business, Council voted to amend the Master Plan and Development Agreement for Encinal Terminals, as recommended by the Planning Board and reported in Episode 132. Finally, the Council voted unanimously to authorize a 36-month lease for the Pacific Pinball Museum at Building 169 on Alameda Point, the property known as the Annex, where Pacific Pinball keeps their enormous backstock of machines not on display at the Webster Street storefront. For complete details on Tuesday's council meeting, see Karen Jensen's article at alamedapost.com/news. San Francisco Bay Ferry announced this week that it carried 2.6 million passengers in 2024, a 16% increase over 2023. That represents a recovery to about 90% of pre-pandemic levels, one of the highest rates for any regional transit operator. Peak morning commute ridership up 14%. Harbor Bay saw a 20% increase year to year. Most interesting to me, weekend ridership, while up only 12%, now sits at 15% over the pre-pandemic levels of 2019. For a closer look at these numbers, see alamedapost.com/news. Congratulations to the Alameda Health System Department of Pediatrics for receiving a Quality Leaders Award for Excellence in Pediatric Primary Care. Details at alamedapost.com/news. In episode 134, we reported on a new California law that prevents employers from requiring employees to attend meetings where they must listen to employers' religious or political views, including opinions on unionization. Well, the California Chamber of Commerce and California Restaurant Association has filed suit in federal court to block that law from being enforced. Cal Matters brings you the story at alamedapost.com/news. Did you know your library card unlocks a catalog of 30,000 movies for you to stream at no charge? That's right. Thanks to the Alameda Free Library's partnership with Kanopy, you can use your library card to stream movies. That's Kanopy with a K. Go to kanopy.com and set up your account with your library card. If you're looking for something to get out and do now that the holidays are over, Amanda Laird's All Around Alameda column has you covered as always. Brush up on your cycling skills, hoop it up, and more. Each and every week, Amanda curates a list of 5 events that are worth your attention. alamedapost.com/features. And for an even wider selection of events, head to 94501.info. Thank you for your support of local news for Alameda. You can join us in our effort by heading to alamedapost.com/memberships. Remember, find us on Facebook, Instagram, MSN, YouTube, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, as well as our own subreddit. Subscribe to us on Apple News and look for us on Nextdoor. Find the Postcast wherever you get your podcast, or simply tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. I'm Scott Peeler. I'll be back next Friday with episode 137 of the Alameda Postcast.